Hello world, this is Travis Bowersock with 2Serve Design. All my stuff can be seen at 2servedesign.com. That's my home base. And today we're going to learn how to do a logo. I'm going to show you how to do it from start to finish, close to finish. We're going to go through sketching it out, just a couple things real quick to think about before you start designing the logo, the tools that I use, and how I get it from a sketch to a vector-based graphic that is final for a customer. So I hope this helps you out. It's got to be kind of short and sweet, so there might be stuff that's sped up, but of course, nice thing about video is you can always go back and catch up with anything you miss. I've got to keep it under the 15 minutes because if I ramble on more than that, I get sick of hearing myself talk, and I'm sure that you do too. So here we go. Good luck to you. The most important step in designing a logo is doing your research, going on the web and looking. These are a couple that I found out there. Obviously, whenever you're looking for a Puma logo, is what I was designing for my client. You get the little Puma that goes on the shoe and everything. So I looked at those and I started sketching a little bit. Then I decided, and I encourage you to do this also, is to go find a real picture, especially if you're doing a mascot, and go back to the drawing board. Everybody that's in this business, most likely you're creative and you have some artistic ability, and it's so refreshing to see designers out there who are creating stuff by themselves without copying other people. So go out there, find something you can use, and start sketching. So after you sketch, what you're going to do then is go to pins, and these are the two that I use, a fine tip and then a broader point. I'm going to speed things up here for you. So the fine tip is to do the outlining once you got your sketch done, and then your broader point obviously lets you go in there and fill in the gaps quickly, and then make sure you erase. So erase all your lines, scan it in at 300 dpi, and then once you do that, open it up in Photoshop to clean the puppy up. So now I'm opening my scan in Photoshop, and there's going to be a lot of cleanup work to do. Should pop up here in just a second. There we go. So what I'm going to do is adjust the levels, because whenever you scan it in, you're going to get all these different kinds of gray areas. And whenever you do the live trace in Illustrator, you're not going to want those. So go to your top bar, choose adjustments, and play with the levels until you can get a nice solid black color. And then once you do that, get it all cleaned up, and then you can crop it out. That way you don't, whenever you go and import your file into Illustrator, you don't have any issues. So save it out as a TIFF or a PNG or a JPEG. Any of those will work just fine. So save it at the max resolution, and then close out Photoshop, and then you're going to launch Illustrator. You're going to have a new document or create a new document, doesn't matter what size at this point, and you're going to go to File, Place. Select your JPEG or TIFF off of the desktop, bring it in, and you can resize it a little bit. Don't resize it too much because you'll have some trouble whenever you go to Live Trace. So up the top there in your menus panel is a Live Trace button, and you can select that, and then you can see there's many options. What I like to do, what I'm doing here, is making a couple different copies of it, because once you live trace it, it's hard to go back. But if you make a bunch of different copies, you can play with the tracing options on each individual one and find the one that you like best. So go down to tracing options. What you have there then, this is obviously black and white, so you're going to play with some of the adjustments. Make sure that you click on preview, that way you can see your changes happening live as you're working. So once you've done that, you can start playing with the threshold, the mode, and all that good stuff. Just look at it on screen, use your eye and your best judgment, and try to figure what works. I do a lot of going back and forth, so I'll go far one way, and then I'll come back and just see how the lines change. Sometimes it's dramatic, and you can see little bitty changes. Um, Sometimes it's more so than others. So once you get it exactly how you like it, go ahead and hit the trace button, and then delete the other ones that you didn't play around with or that you didn't like once you were playing around with them. So then what you're going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this and flip it because I have a symmetrical logo. So what I'm going to do is go to Object, select the item, go to Object, Transform, Reflect, and then make sure the vertical button is clicked on here, and then I'm going to hit OK whenever I'm done with that, and I get a nice copy that flips it, and then I can just play around here, join the two, and make it look like a complete logo. So it's real nice in the beginning if you know this. Whenever you start sketching, you know that you only have to do half of it, so nice to know. I'm going to speed some things up here and just kind of explain as we go through. Inside of InDesign is a Pathfinder tool. It's a panel, and you can play around with that. I love it. I use it all the time. You can make different shapes, and by selecting like that rectangle and that item, I was able to make a real nice straight line by using one of the Pathfinder tools. And then again, I did a transform, reflect, and now I can join those two pieces, those two half diamonds, and make a full diamond there by using one of the Pathfinder tools in the panel. And you can just play around with that stuff, but it's a really nice tool. I'm using my pen tool here. I do not like the Flintstone lump on the Puma's head here. So I'm just going in, I'm drawing my own shape. I'm going back to the path, and I'm using the pen tool. You hover over the anchor points, and you get a little minus sign, and you can take some of those anchor points out of there. Play with it. Again, another great tool to use. I'm going to do that on both of the sides here until I get something that I like a lot better. So again, just some cleanup work. I'm also going to, I know I said I like the nice symmetrical logo, but I don't want the two sides to look like they were exact copies of each other. So some of the finer details like the whiskers and the little beard there, I'm going to play around with and change one side and not necessarily the other. Just do some cleanup work so it doesn't look like it's an exact copy of both sides. Again, I'm using Pathfinder tool here and cleaning that up too. So once you get it how you like it, center it, make it big, and we're almost done. So the final step is what I think is the most important, is to pray over every single logo that you create, just that it's a blessing to the company that you're providing it for. And it's just amazing how everything works out whenever you do that. So that's all. Thanks for watching this. Hope to get you some more. God bless you.